That's where we find our own Jesse Irwin. Jesse?
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, this morning we were fortunate enough to be joined by Cadet Ryan Hinman, and we're here at the PSU Veterans Memorial, and you and I were just talking. You mentioned you were part of the Old Guard.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what that means?
Well, for the Old Guard, we are stationed up in Fort Myer, Virginia, which is right next to Arlington National Cemetery. Our responsibilities were maintaining the security of Washington, D.C., as well as funeral and honorary ceremonies for the Arlington Cemetery, as also general retirement ceremonies as well.
And so that, I mean, you have to be a certain height, you were saying? I mean, there's very specific guidelines to qualify for this,
There
right?
is. So originally, whenever you go through just before basic training, they'll go around and have a bunch of people on a list, and they'll ask you about like the benefits of the Old Guard and tell you about it, and they'll ask you if you want to join, and it's your choice whether or not you want to get further information on it. So that's what happened to me, and I got approached, and that's how basically it all started for me.
Wow. And so you're a senior right now at PSU, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're getting ready to graduate.
Yes, sir.
What comes after that?
Well, so hopefully the goal is that I'll be going into active duty as an infantry officer. Right now, as it stands, I'm about to go to advanced camp, and so what that'll do, that'll help basically detail where I'm going to go in terms of performance and whatnot from there. So it's all up in the cards at this point.
You told me you're a military brat. You grew up in a military family. Your father served. Your grandfather served. Did his father serve as well?
As far as I know, we had a long lineage of military service, but overall, the only ones that I can really think of are my grandparents and my great grandparents really that served, and then my dad, who is the one that I really looked up to in terms of wanting to serve and continue it.
So every day is Veterans Day. It sounds like you're in terms of just honoring your family and those who have served. As you enter this next part of your life, what does a day like this mean to you?
It means the most. I mean, in terms of commemorating those who have served and have lived through the horrors to keep the freedom of the United States intact, as well as it also being our Armistice Day, which is the official recognition of the winning of World War I, or the ending of World War I.
Right. After an election like this, right, our country is polarized, and you get ready to go and defend everybody who's under one roof at the end of the day, right? I mean, what is that big? It must be a bigger picture for anyone who's serving, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
what do they teach you? What have you learned about sort of seeing that bigger picture of the country as one?
You're a piece of something bigger. Once at the end of the day, you have to realize that you serve the greater cause, which is the United States and the people who live in it. At the end of the day, everyone is equal, in my opinion, and everyone deserves the rights and equal privileges that the United States have granted them.
Well, we really appreciate you joining us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to continue to learn more about not just cadets like Mr. Ryan Hinman, but also where we are. I mean, we're at PSU's Veterans Memorial, and there's a lot of cool facts and features of this place that you might not know about. So we're going to have that and more coming up, but we'll be right back on the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. Kind of cold right after this.